Hi, I'm Gina Clarke. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Fintech Times, and I'm here live today at Money 2020 in Amsterdam.
Hi, I'm Silvia Mensdorff. I'm the head of Europe for banking and payments for FIS, one of the biggest fintechs globally. Nice to be here at Money 2020 and meeting people face to face.
It's very strange, isn't it?
Strange and exciting, who would have thought?
Well, it's nice to be back, but I think to start it would be really interesting to talk about the last 12 to 18 months and how you've approached that as a company.
Yeah, so I actually changed jobs during the pandemic, and that was such a weird thing to do because I wasn't able to meet anybody at FIS person to person, so it was all through Teams, and I think we've had some really interesting insights into people's lives, right, into their home environment. But it's been Teams meetings from the beginning of the morning to late at night, basically for the last 18 months, right?
Absolutely. And so, what's your sort of key focus now then, and as we emerge from the fog, I guess?
Well, it's really going out to meeting customers and prospects and talking about their digital journey that they're on. The exciting thing, I think, about the pandemic, with all the pain and nonsense it's brought, right, and the different way of working, it's really accelerated the digital journey for everybody. People that never thought that they'd buy goods online or that they'd do banking online have been forced to do it and have overcome their fear of technology. And so this is what we see in the industry. It's really accelerated everybody's digital journeys, and obviously that is the core of what FIS does, facilitating electronic banking and payments across the globe. So I'm really excited to get out and from behind the screen and talk to people face to face.
And I mean, the acceleration has just been phenomenal. So what opportunities do you see ahead of us?
Well, I think it's really about putting the customer journey central and not just saying I'm going to do something physical and move that into the digital world, but thinking about what is different in digital and really making the journey smooth. What I would though say is everybody talks about frictionless digital journeys, and I always talk about friction right. If you think about it, you always, when it's about payments and banking, you want the right friction, right? If it's a small payment, then it should be easy. The bigger the payment, the more authentication and work you're prepared to put into it, because you want to be sure that you want to buy that good. And the same thing goes for banking. So I think a lot still to be done to make that digital experience the right approach.
Absolutely. And in terms of challenges, is that something that's sort of at the top of your list, or have we got something else that we need to look out for?
Well, I think there are a lot of services out there, and I think really bringing that together for the consumer and making open banking a reality is where I think the biggest challenge for the industry is, in a way that consumers can effectively understand that. And so from an FIS perspective, we're really coming out with our core banking products and the whole ecosystem around that. And then on the payment side, integrating that in and bringing all of that together to make the most of open banking. And I think that's where the focus for the industry should be.
Sure. And as an industry, what do you think are the most exciting products and services coming out right now?
So if you look a little bit further into the future, what's really exciting is some of the noise around cryptocurrencies, right? And I think through the pandemic, cryptocurrencies have really come into their own right, and now seeing central banks talk about coming out with cryptocurrencies as their currency, the Bank of England, what's happening in Latin America around Bitcoin, really kind of starts making it mainstream, and then what we're seeing is we're working with a lot of crypto exchanges who are issuing cards, so that the investment that people have made into their cryptos they can actually use in the real world. So I think it's really bringing the cryptocurrencies into the real world and starting to make them mainstream, where the excitement is at the moment.
And so we're here at Money 2020. What would you like to get from your experience here?
Well, I'm hoping to be inspired with finding out some new things. I'm obviously meeting up with a lot of colleagues and prospects and fintech and payment enthusiasts and friends that we've missed over the last one and a half years. And it's really that sitting down and being able to have a chat over a cup of coffee that we've all missed for such a long time, that I'm hoping to take away from this and really reconnect. I've traveled for the first time on business last week. I'm local to the Netherlands. This is an easy trip, but the excitement of doing that, and who would have thought? I used to travel twice a week. And my kids would all go, "Which country are you in this week?" And it's been like, my home office for such a long time. And I think it's going to be really interesting how we integrate and kind of find a new normal. We went from, these physical meetings in a couple of days to virtual meetings. And as I was talking about, chock-a-block virtual meetings from evening to night, you kind of go, how am I going to travel to the office? I don't have room in my agenda. So it's going to be really interesting for all of us how we switch to a hybrid model, I would say. I don't believe the travel is going to come back the way it was. And frankly, I think it's going to be better for the planet if it doesn't.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's been lovely to speak to you today.
Thank you very much for having me. Have a great Money 2020.